Giant Stalker, Dragon Stalker, Crypt Stalker, Demon Stalker, Rift Stalker, Grom Stalker, Crypt Stalker, Scourge Stalker, Wind Runner. I'm a pony, elite skill hunter. A death dealer, a life stealer. That's just the cost of being awesome sauce.
And welcome to episode 273 of the Hunting Party Podcast. I'm Darkbrew from thebrewhall.com and the Brew Hall on Twitter.
I'm Bendak from eyesofthebeast.com and Bendak Wow on Twitter.
Today is Monday, August 6th, 2018, and we are broadcasting live on twitch.tv, where you can participate in the live chat room, and we'll do our best to answer your questions if you have any. So here we are. It's the Battle for Azeroth. It's going to launch very, very soon. We're actually a week away, which is just hard to believe.
Less than a week.
Less than a week.
Yep.
That's right.
Like
So
3 hours into the week.
I mean, it's not so for the, and it's a little bit confusing, but I guess Monday the 13th so you have it here, 3 p.m. Pacific time and 6 p.m. Eastern is when it'll officially open up. That's the earliest the doors will open. Oh, it's opening the same time everywhere worldwide, correct? That's what they were trying to do.
Yeah. Which is pretty awesome because, I don't have to screw up my sleep schedule now.
Yeah, that's great. 6 p.m. Eastern. That's the work day's over. I'll be home. I think my wife's going to be out of town, so visiting family. So I'll really have like a wide open schedule to just jump right in and start leveling. So what are your plans? Like what are you going to end up just doing first? Do you have a plan, or are you just going to go log in, go in there, and head to a zone and just start leveling up?
Pretty much just level as fast as possible because just want to start gearing up, I guess.
Well, they announced the raid schedule too, and doesn't feel that far away. I don't know if their raids are starting sooner than they did in Legion, maybe not, but it feels like it's gonna be right after Labor Day here in the United States that the Uldir is gonna open up.
Yeah, isn't it 2 weeks after launch the normal and heroic open up, and then the week after is mythic?
I believe so. I'm gonna just pull up a calendar here. So yeah, we're gonna start on 13th. So yeah, we're gonna have almost 3 weeks, I guess, to level up, and then September 4th is what I thought was when the raid was gonna launch.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Mainly, I think it'll be fine because we don't have legendaries to collect.
No, we don't. I just don't know how long it'll take to get to level 1, the level 120. I didn't level up a tune in the alpha or the beta, so I really don't have a sense of how long to expect. But I don't know what. I mean,
it's not that long.
Just going at a reasonable pace. A day or two maybe. It can't take much more than that, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, if you're not like speed leveling, I would guess like 8 to 10 hours, 8 to 12 hours.
So, I like to kind of play through it and enjoy it a little bit. So I won't necessarily, I'll go fast and steady. Like, I'll do a lot each and every day, but I'm not going to, stay up all night just to get to 120 right away. Just as long as I'm in with that sort of first wave of players and people in my guild that are getting to 120. Because the big thing is, right, you're going to want to start running the dungeons and getting the gear needed to step into the raid when the doors open.
If you want to gear for the raid, the main concern is just getting up there the first week so that you can not waste the first week lockout for mythic dungeons.
Yeah, exactly. And it just seems like, and it should be smooth. As far as I know, they've already. The expansion's already been deployed, I guess, at this point. It's just a matter of really them flipping a switch
and fixing all the bugs.
Yeah, fixing all the bugs. Yes, but we're not going to have to. Not like years past where you'd go and download the patch immediately and and hope everything goes smooth.
Even worse, getting the DVDs or not even DVDs, those CDs. I think Wrath was on 6 CDs.
I don't recall. I do remember. I don't think it was available digitally at that point.
Mm-hmm.
which always puzzled me, because like if you were in the beta or the alpha, the only way you could, install the game was by downloading it. So I remember during those early days, like, well, why don't they just do this for the regular game? It would just make so much more sense. And of course, ultimately, that's where we ended up.
Yeah, one thing I suggest is to log in early if you can, just because when you're logged in already and the expansion launches, you don't have to relog. Like the quest will just pop up.
Yeah, that's certainly what I plan to do. 6 p.m. Eastern is. There's no reason why I wouldn't be home on that Monday, so I'll probably be in, I don't know, 3:00 in the afternoon or something. Just running around. And plus, I think it'd be kind of cool to be logged in when everything sort of kicks in at that point. I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah, I can't say that I've ever been online when it kicked. Yeah, because it's always been really, really rough for us East Coasters, right?
Yeah. I mean, I remember with, I thought Burning Crusade was like they did a midnight release for that.
I'm pretty sure the servers weren't up for another day after that.
I'm just trying to remember. I thought, yeah, maybe the servers weren't. Well, I don't recall when. I just remember sort of being online, and knowing that some of the stores were opening at midnight, and you could at least go and buy the copy of the game. But maybe I don't remember when it officially got turned on at that point. But
I remember for me in Burning Crusade, nearby I didn't have a midnight launch, but the local game shop opened up at like 6 a.m. or something on the day of launch. Or 6 a.m. And I remember going there, picking it up, and like playing for almost 3 hours before going into work.
Right. But this will be a lot smoother. I don't know where I'll be.
This will be a treat for us.
We're a good place to be, I guess, starting off in Stormwind for the Alliance.
Yep. It should pop up wherever you are, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, doesn't it start with a scenario, or is that
the Lordaeron one?
Yeah.
That is part of it, but we're gonna be able to do that tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Well,
yeah, I thought there was something else, another piece of it coming before the expansion itself.
Yeah, so the Battle for Lordaeron is this week coming up. Yeah.
Did we get anything
originally, I don't think so. We only got the mount from the War of Thorns.
Right. Yeah.
But originally they were going to have the Battle for Lordaeron locked behind pre-order, but now I guess everyone can do it.
Oh, so you don't have to have the expansion to do that?
No.
That's pretty neat. All right.
Yeah, well, the War of Thorns was pretty good. I mean, I don't know. We sort of were chatting about this before we went live with because I mean the cinematics were nice. I was surprised actually with the different types of cinematics that they did, but the one they did with Sourfang was kind of like their expansion cinematics. It was that quality of animation and so forth. It was pretty well done.
I did not expect that cinematic. Like, first of all, how long was it? Like,
it was 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, it was like 5 or 6 minutes. Yeah.
I loaded it on YouTube and I was like, oh, this is a short, probably like a minute and a half. Whoa, 6 minutes.
Yeah, because those cinematics aren't like they take a while to make, and they're not cheap.
They're not cheap. No.
Yeah, the Overwatch team is just or the Overwatch fans are probably just complaining that the cinematics team was working on WoW instead of Overwatch short.
Now I wonder if there's going to be this week if there's going to be an Alliance cinematic.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I mean, although it almost feels like the Battle for Azeroth cinematic it's almost the cinematic I'd expect from the end of the Battle for Lordaeron, but I don't know.
Well, they had to show this one out because it takes place before the original BFA cinematic, right?
Right. Yes.
But I wonder if there'll be an Alliance one where it focuses on the characters like that.
I mean, I expect we'll see Jaina at some point, right?
Maybe, I don't know. It would be nice to see some kind of Alliance side reaction to the burning of Teldrassil and all that.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we don't have the full story yet, so I assume there'll be something for that. Because right now it just feels like Alliance are like the burning of Teldrassil and all that is just kind of like a tool for like Horde character development. Like, where's the I don't know. I'm just waiting for the Alliance thing.
Well,
Yeah, I bet there'll be something. I don't know if it'll be that same quality as cinematic, but who knows? Maybe we'll know more tomorrow.
Yep, just gotta wait. So, are you immediately making your Dark Iron Dwarf at the moment it's available, Bendak?
Yeah, I already have the race change purchased.
Is that
So
coming
as soon as
on the 13th, or is it?
No, you have to. There's requirements for it. You have to
Oh.
Yeah, it's not just there's just not
Also-
going to be readily available. I think you have to. There's some achievements, which is I don't know if it's tied to reputation or I don't know how long it's going to take to unlock them, but it's not going to be like quick.
Oh.
I don't think.
You have to complete the war campaign and
Mhm.
get exalted with just
Oof.
one of the reps.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like work, a lot of work. But hey,
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be another little bit of a slog, so it's not something that you'd expect to have right away. But I'm undecided if I'm going to do a race change. I'll certainly create a Dark Iron Dwarf. I don't know if I'll change Darkbrew or not. Maybe.
really, come on, Darkbrew, right?
I know. I feel like I should.
Yeah, and they've got awesome racials.
Yeah, we were looking at the stats there. Those stats that you gain off of it is pretty insane.
Yeah.
At 120, if Wowhead is to be believed.
Yeah, the DPS racial is good, but also the mole machine. Come on.
Oh yeah.
The mole machine is really what I want, right? That looks like a lot of fun.
So the mole machine for Brewfest still works, and I am ready and able to troll people with that. Just leave that around. Oh man, I'm excited.
So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. There's something else I was gonna bring up too, but it just slipped my mind. So while we're here, one of the things you pointed out this week, Bendak, this is hunter related actually, is it was changed with some of the pets with the hunter pet attack speeds, and it looks like many of the pets have attack speeds just like they did back in vanilla, but apparently it doesn't affect overall DPS. So it's really just a flavor thing. And of course, the one everyone remembers is Broken Tooth, who had that ridiculously fast attack speed back in the day. It was very hard to get.
Yeah, so I don't know why this came back. I don't know if it's intended or if they just kind of made some code change and it slipped in. But so the standard attack speed for a pet is 2, which means they attack once every 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But we found pets that range from 0.5 to 4. So like that's 0.5 is like really fast. Like once you get frenzy going and all that, it's attacking 4 times per second.
But the damage is sort of greatly reduced, I guess, at
Right.
that speed.
Right. So yeah, there's no DPS increase for getting like a faster pet or a slower pet.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the damage scales. So I don't know what the point of it is other than if it is intended, I think they put it in just for flavor, basically.
Right. So, and again, just for, so on the fast end, I guess what Death to Lack, which is the rare spider, has a 0.5 attack speed.
Yeah, and that's the only one we found so far with the 0.5. That is actually one pet you don't want to use as Beast Mastery. This is the only exception to the whole they all do the same damage argument, because once you apply more than 1 stack of Frenzy to it, it actually hits an attack speed cap and it can't go any lower. So you just lose damage.
So I was to say, yeah, would you lose damage? I mean, it sounds like that would be bad, right? I mean, if it just
Yeah, but there's some other ones like there's like a Silithid that's 0.8 and then a bunch of ones like Broken Tooth that are 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
And those ones get really fast once you get like Frenzy going and Bloodlust and stuff. And then on the opposite end, there's Chimera. Or I don't know how you pronounce that, but the boss from Blackwing Descent.
Oh yeah. I was thinking of a different
Yeah,
pet.
it's the Hydra.
The Hydra.
Yeah, he's got a 4.0 attack speed. So which is crazy. Like it's so slow. Like I don't know how no one noticed it yet. So yeah.
But it hits harder though. I guess.
It hits really hard to make up for the slow speed.
And I'm just trying to think if there are any situations where that might be good, right? I mean, one huge big punch versus, several smaller ones. Are there?
I'm sure there's like scenarios where either the slow or fast would be slightly better, but it all evens out in the end.
Right. Yeah. Unless that like one big punch is gonna kill whatever you're fighting, it probably wouldn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have a post about it on my eyesofthebeast.com site, and I have a macro in there so you can check the speed of all your pets or any pets in the wild. So, and I also posted it on Petopia so that, people can start looking around and generating a list of all the pets.
So how was this discovered? And is this something that you discovered, or did someone bring it up to you, or just wondering how this came about?
No, someone brought it up to me from the True Shot Lodge Discord. And, he showed me these different DPS results for different pets and how like that one had way more attacks but the same damage. And then so we just looked into it more, and yeah. I'm just surprised no one noticed throughout all of beta.
Well, it doesn't show up on your character sheet, right? Like back in the day, we had that really detailed character sheet, and that was really cool. But they decided there was too much information for us, right?
Yeah. I think a couple of times I've seen people mention like, hey, how come my one pet hits way harder? And I kind of just dismissed it like, oh, they probably got, they probably didn't take their gear off or there's something different. But no, this would explain it. But they weren't looking at the attack speed, obviously. They just assumed that it was attacking at the same speed but hitting harder.
Yeah, so it's like you said, it's just an interesting little flavor change. So there's probably not a huge need to go down chasing after any of these pets unless it's a pet that you want to have.
No, unless you want like a fast pet because it looks cool, or like having a really fast pet does look cool when you're like using Beast Cleave on like trash or something, because like your screen is just like a waterfall of numbers, like it just explodes. It looks so cool.
Oh, cool. So the other thing we were going to talk about today, because I don't think we've covered it much, are the Azerite traits, which of course will be available right away with the expansion. And trying to pull up some information. I haven't looked at this too much. I mean, Blizzard actually did do a little bit of a blog post on their site, sort of explaining how this is all going to work. And this is basically what the new artifact weapon, if you will, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, it's like a combination of our legendaries and and our artifact additional abilities, and our tier pieces too, right? Because we're no longer getting tier sets.
Yeah, they're trying to make it replace all of those things. I mean, right now it doesn't quite live up to that, but I mean, I'm sure as the expansion goes on, there'll be more elaborate traits, probably more tiers of traits. Actually, I keep calling them traits. They're powers, not traits. I just keep reminding myself.
Okay,
so I'm writing a guide on it right now. Every time I write traits, I have to go and do a find and replace and change it to powers.
All right, so they're Azerite powers, but the
that is
Wowhead...
that is the official name.
Okay,
like that they're in the data. They're powers. Yeah,
that's pretty funny because the Azerite Heart of Azerite guide on Wowhead, it all says traits everywhere.
I know.
Jeez,
okay, it's inconsistent everywhere.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, it doesn't help that they just... I mean, we had artifact traits for the longest time, right?
Right, and plus there's a lot of inconsistency too with the tiers. Like some people refer to the outer ring as tier 1, some refer to it as tier 3. The official name is tier 3, even though it's kind of weird. But
does it go outside in, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so tier 3 is first.
Right.
Okay. All right.
It goes tier 3, tier 2, tier 1, and then tier 0.
Which is the 5i level.
Right.
Yeah, so... Thanks, Blizz.
Yeah. Wait. So, and the way they call it, like they talk about the outer ring, the second ring, the third ring, and the fourth ring. So...
Wow. Okay. All right. It's gonna take some trial and error to get that the naming consistent there.
You know what they should have done? They just should have colored the rings differently. They could be like the blue ring, the red ring, and the yellow ring. But whatever. So basically how it works is you get the Heart of Azeroth right at the start of the expansion. And that's like it's like a neck piece that you'll wear the whole expansion. And you get artifact power like you did in Legion, except it just automatically goes to the Heart of Azeroth and levels it up, basically. And every time it levels it up, you get more stats, and Azerite armor has requirements for like Azerite or Heart of Azeroth level. So say you want the tier 2 trait from some chest piece, I'd say requires Heart of Azeroth level 16 or something.
And again, I assume like the Azerite power that you'll get, you'll be similar to how we got our artifact power, right? It probably world
it's the exact same, except it just automatically added. You don't have to click any items.
But the sources, I guess, would be similar to what we were used to in Legion for our artifact power.
Yep. Except you can also do those islands for more artifact power.
Is there going to be like a weekly limit at all, or is it just as much as you can do?
As much as you can do.
Ugh.
There'd be like weekly quests for the islands and stuff to give you a big chunk, you know.
And then there'll be 3 additional armor pieces, I guess, that will be empowered by the Azerite. I think was it the chest, the helmet, and shoulders are the 3.
Yeah.
And and there's no need to pick and choose. I think you're just going to want all 3.
Oh no, you like all the chests will be Azerite pieces basically. Yeah. You'll be wearing all 3 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the other question. Are there any like sort of non-Azerite chest pieces and shoulders and helmet, or is it just everyone you find will be?
No, they're all empowered. Azerite. Yeah. And also Azerite pieces don't have secondary stats, just agility and stamina. So it kind of simplifies the whole process of, choosing what to use, because then you don't have to contend with stat weights and the powers and everything, Because in most cases, it's the way it's going to work is if you get a higher eye level Azerite piece, regardless of the powers on it, it's probably going to be an upgrade.
Well, that was going to be my question, right? Is this going to be one of those things where where the abilities and traits that are associated with a particular armor piece might just outweigh the item level, or are they kind of fix that so it makes it a little bit easier? So if you see something with a higher item level, you might want to just gravitate towards that regardless of what else is on there.
There might be a few edge cases like before they fully balance everything, but for the most part, eye level upgrade equals put it on.
Yeah, and I like that. I mean, I think that's the way it should be, because it's an easy. It's logically that's kind of how the at least my brain works a little bit, and there's something about getting, just you see something at the higher item level, you just assume it should be a, superior piece of gear to something that's of a lower item level, and it hasn't always obviously worked that way. It's been frustrating. So hopefully that's the way that it plays out now.
Yeah. So the first ring, the outer ring of Azerite armor, those traits, basically you'll have a choice between a trait for your spec and a trait that is based on like where the armor came from. So if you got it from the Aldir raid, it would have a trait for that raid,
Mm-hmm.
The trait would work everywhere, but it'd have in that case, it would have a little extra bonus when you use it in the raid. So you basically have to choose between the class or spec power or the generic power that's on that same ring. So another example would be there's PvP powers that's on PvP armor that competes with those class powers. Or say you do a dungeon in one of the zones, there'll be powers for that theme to that zone that you will find in dungeons from that zone.
And I believe you're going to be able to change these, right? I mean, you're going to have to, it's going to cost gold, and it's going to be incrementally more expensive the more often you do it, but then they'll have a mechanic in there where that cost gets reduced every week as well.
Yeah. It's actually the respec cost doubles every time you do it, but after 3 days it starts decaying again.
Yeah, it's so that you don't have to change it every single fight or something like that, right?
It's to discourage that, yeah.
Well, yeah, to discourage it.
Yeah, the cost is to discourage you from changing it, but also the decay is there because, well, we kind of know you might have to change it.
Mm-hmm. Do you have to be?
That's a good thing.
Yeah. Do you have to be somewhere to change it?
Yeah, there's an NPC that does it.
Okay, so you have to be you probably have to hearth and yeah, just like respecing back
just
in.
Reforging it back in the day, I think probably something along those lines. Yeah,
I wasn't going to bring up reforging. Jeez.
Or like our artifact anvil and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a nice feature because then you don't have to worry about making the wrong choice. This power sounds cool, I'm going to pick it, and then you go read a guide and find out it's crap.
Yeah.
At least you can go back and get the good one,
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm reading through all these, and it seems like there's no additional buttons. There's no active abilities that are in here. Is that right? Okay. So these are just powers that improve an existing ability or add a feature to an ability.
Right.
And again, this is the outer ring, and so I assume when we go out, we're out towards in. We work our way in.
Yes.
Right.
With these rings. Yeah.
So the outer ring, aka tier 3, that'll be the class, and the whatever you want to call them, zone powers or whatever. It's actually kind of funny. The engineering goggles have a totally unique set of powers that are only on the goggles. But it's kind of like a one-off thing. Like maybe you'll use them at the start, but you can't upgrade them. So I don't know.
Oh, they'll probably do that thing where they release a new one every raid tier, or some sort of upgrading device. Because I think back in actually as early as Wrath, I think we had those per raid tier improvements on the headpieces, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them they had those little cogs or whatever you could.
Yeah, that's it.
In your,
yeah. Another thing is they can't Titan forge Azerite pieces, so that also simplifies it. It's just kind of like, I want this piece because it has these powers on it. It drops from this dungeon or this raid. I can go get it, and then if I go get it on a higher difficulty, it's going to be an upgrade. Because all the powers scale with item level 2.
which is a good thing too. And then for the second ring, so that's the outer ring. And did you say before there might be there'd be like level requirements for the neck? So all this is sort of driven by the your neck piece initially.
Yeah, you unlock the outer ring first, which is kind of weird because it's the most powerful ring. Mm-hmm. And then as you work in that,
I like that though.
Yeah, it is it's different. Yeah.
You know, the fact that you get that thing. Sometimes I hate waiting to have to wait to get like the one thing I really want, right? You know, that the fact that you might get something really nice right out of the door. Kind of like that.
Yeah, so the tier 2 or second ring, those are basically just like throughput powers. They're kind of like the little procs and stuff you could get on the Netherlight Crucible, you know? They're just things like that.
And these are tied to, I guess, what you're. So, and these are like not spec based so much as role based, I guess. So,
right.
DPS, you're going to increase damage. Healers do more healing, and tanks can mitigate their damage. So that's that's how these are based.
Yeah, there's actually way fewer tier 2 powers. Like I'm looking at it now, and it looks like there's like only 7 of them, compared to tier 3 where there's like, I don't know, it's like a couple dozen probably.
And then the third ring, which is what, tier 4, I guess?
No, that's tier 1.
That's tier 1.
And that is all utility and defensive stuff. And they just recently hotfixed these to be much better, and they're actually really good now. So a lot of them are like generic that work for all classes, but there's a couple hunter ones.
So what do we have that would be available for hunters?
There's a feign death one. So when you feign death, you get an absorb shield put on you. That it absorbs quite a bit, but the shield only lasts like 6 seconds, I think. And it also reduces the cooldown of feign death. And there's another one that when an aspect of the turtle active, it heals you.
So these are similar to what we had before.
Yeah, because there's also like a mini Pride As one that has the same effect.
Yeah, there's
another
all...
cool one where every time you kill someone, you get like a heal and a speed buff. So if you're like speed running a dungeon, that could be pretty neat.
Yeah, so these are all like static numbers according to this Wowhead page. Do you know if they scale with eye level?
They do. If you click the ability, there should be a slider to scale it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it. So the number obviously increases with eye level. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, well, that should be interesting, and I guess this opens them up to giving us more as the expansion goes on. Hopefully, anyway.
Right, and then that final ring, I guess, just
the center ring.
It just increases the item level by 5, so which is still pretty good.
Yeah, and then another thing is these Azerite pieces. You can only get them from like weekly lockout stuff for the most part, like Mythic 0 dungeons, like not Mythic Plus, but there's regular Mythics because they can only be done once a week, right? You can get them from that. You can't get them from running a Mythic Plus, but you can get them in the weekly cache from Mythic Plus. And obviously raid bosses. There'll be some world quests that have them too, like for like starter gear, you know. And I believe you can also get them from like, well, obviously PvP and Warfronts as well.
So if you're really unlucky, can you at least craft one of these from like if you're missing maybe like shoulders or something, or your shoulders are super low eye level?
To be honest, I think the only ones are the engineering goggles.
Really? Well, it sounds like they're going to make us run a lot of weekly lockout, stuff.
But by the time you'll level up, you should have something in each slot, and then I think they're going to be fairly generous with it. Like that's why they increase the amount of pieces that a Mythic Plus cache can give you and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. I mean, there's always going to be that one person, right? Like, what was it? Foxy took 6 months to get her legendary boots.
Yeah. And then world bosses are actually another place you can get them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I forgot about world bosses. Are they doing like weekly cycling world bosses like in Legion, or do you know if they're switching back to just world bosses sitting around?
I'm pretty sure it's a weekly cycle.
Okay.
And then there's also a special world boss if you have control of the Warfront. And so that one, I think that one you only get every 2 weeks because of the way the Warfronts rotate. So basically, some weeks you'll get 2 world bosses, the other weeks you'll get 1.
Yeah, and overall, I think that worked out pretty well in Legion, having just those rotating world bosses.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, except for which
except
one?
For the Nithhogg, the boss that never came back up.
Yeah.
That was required for the what was it, the Fury hidden appearance? I think that was 2 months before it came back up from the first time it spawned. But sorry about that. What?
No. Saying overall, they're pretty easy to do, right? They're great. I mean, you just show up and find a group, and you're done.
Yeah, a little PSA on that. Group Finder has been adjusted a little bit, so the add-on doesn't automatically find you a group anymore. You have to basically use the built-in Group Finder,
which really isn't that bad.
No, it's really not bad. I think it's more about finding which class, like which menu option you need to click for the world boss. Like,
right?
It doesn't. There's not one that specifically says world bosses. I think it's PVE custom or something.
Yeah,
like that.
It's custom. Yeah, it's the one at the bottom there that you.
But for those of us who just usually click the add-on, it was very jarring to go, wait, what?
But yeah, that's a handy feature. In fact, I took, I know, getting a little off topic, but your advice, Bendak, and I created a trial tune on a very low pop RP server, and then used that to go around and get some rare pets recently.
Nice.
It was great. Although it was a little tricky to figure out how that worked. Because one of the ones I wanted to get was the Raptor, the Spirit Raptor in Orgrimmar. So I had to take the trial character over to Orgrimmar, basically, and then create the group and make sure he got there first. And then I brought Darkbrew in there and joined the group. I didn't realize that's what I had to do at first. So it's like,
Did you get the pet?
I did. Yeah, once I did it the right way, the egg was right there, and there was nobody around, right? So, because before it didn't seem quite right. Then the egg was there. I was okay to sit there and wait, but I know Orgrimmar just seemed like there were too many players around for it to be in an RP server like that. So I said, I don't know if I'm doing this right. And then I did a little bit more reading, and so long story short, I went and got that, and then I went. What else did I get that day? I got lucky with the Griffin. I happened to be on one afternoon and just walked by there. Wasn't even thinking about it, and looked down and saw the feather. So I tamed that, and that sort of inspired me to go get the Raptor. And then I got the Lightning Fox out of Duskwood.
Cool.
But it's fun. I like, when I'm out and about, using the talent to pull the double pets. I like having the Griffin and the Raptor out at the same time. That's fun.
Yeah. I even tamed a couple copies of some of the pets to use with that talent. since you can't duplicate your pet anymore.
Yeah, which is too bad. I think you'd mentioned that, like, you'd got another Loquanahawk, and the Arcturus as well was another one you got.
Yeah. Spirit beasts are pretty nice right now. That Spirit Man, I don't know if you've tried it out in like in a raid setting, but holy crap.
I did. I didn't realize how good it was until someone else mentioned it, and then I did it last week. I was like, oh, yeah, this is nice. So Spirit beasts are very good right now. The only thing I don't like about like the double pet talent is that it's based on where you position your pets within your stable. I wish it was from your active pets.
Yeah, there's a couple other weird things with that talent too. Like the second pet doesn't respond to play dead, which really annoys me, and also doesn't get men pet.
Oh, I didn't realize know about either of those. Yeah, that's men pets. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And plus, I think they could maybe tune it a little bit more, but it's not terrible. It's just I don't know. The way it works is kind of weird. Like how it has to reduce the damage of your main pet to accommodate the other pet, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, Beast Mastery seems okay right now. I mean, I'm sort of getting used to it. It's not that much to get used to. It's really just the managing those frenzy stacks. That's really all it's about, I feel like.
Yeah, and there's weak ores and stuff that really help with that too if you're having trouble. Like,
I'm not a lot of trouble. I'm just wondering, is there? I mean, how much uptime should you really expect to get? I mean, can you get 100% uptime off that, or
not unless you're like ridiculously lucky?
Yeah, I figured. I said there are times I was like, I don't think it's possible to get 100% uptime on this. So, and I've tried different things. Like I know for anyone else that's struggling with it, you can take the what's the talent? Is it Wild Call or One with the Pack, or the name escapes me. That will help, get a few your be able to allow you to get a few more barb shots in there. But otherwise, I did that initially, and then I dropped that and using Chimera Shot. It seems to be pretty good. Not too hard now.
Yeah, Chimera Shot's really nice right now.
So, and without that, I mean the rotation can feel a little empty. So it's not even like you're bloating it that much by having the ability like Chimera Shot in there. It's not, it's not really adding that much in the way of complexity to the rotation. So it feels good with it.
Did you try marksmanship?
Not yet, but I'm gonna give a look at that. I finally got a couple pieces to raise the level of the artifact weapon. So I'm gonna give marksmanship a go here, play around with it this week, and then start playing around with survival too.
Yeah, if your survival weapon is pretty low, you can go ahead and just go to Dark Shore and do the world quests there, and you get 210 eye level stuff, including weapons. So if you're, I remember you said that your survival artifact weapon was one of the last things you got.
It was the last thing I got. I haven't really gotten any. I don't know what the item level is on it.
But if it's low enough.
It's higher than 210. I want to say it's like 213 right now. Okay.
Yeah, I know that on some of my ults where I barely got any relics, they're under 210, so I just went ahead and got 210s from the world quests.
Yeah, and I forget what kind of relics it uses. It uses what? Storm and Iron and is it Blood? Yep. Maybe? Yeah. So yeah, it's the Blood relic is the one I don't have. I don't have a good one for that because since BM shares the Iron and the Storm, it's easy enough for me to get decent ones of those. And likewise with my marksmanship, it's the Life relic that I'm weak on.
Yeah, so I don't know what else there is to cover about Azerite other than just, you don't have like a ton of control over it. You kind of just have to run your weekly stuff and hope you get some stuff.
Yeah, and it sounds like the epic gear is going to be, obviously what you want to strive for, and as you said, that's going to come from raid dungeons and places like that, I guess.
It's also like the questing gear and stuff like that. It doesn't have the tier 2 traits.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So the epic gear is going to have that extra trait on there, I think.
Yeah, basically anything that's like 340 and up, I think, is what gets all the rings.
Mm-hmm.
340 is Mythic 0.
And then, when do you get you get the neck piece right away?
Yep, right. It should be the first thing you do. And I know there's like a faction related to Bronzebeard and the Heart of Azerite and all that. And as you level that faction up, like when you get to like Honored and Revered, etc., you get like a 15 eye level boost to your Heart of Azerite every new reputation tier. I believe those are also the world quests that give Azerite pieces. So definitely, if you can't do all the world quests, you should definitely keep an eye out for the Champions of Azeroth ones.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the world quests will be similar to what they were like in Legion. I mean, I remember certainly at the beginning of the expansion, and even now, they never really took that long to do. I mean, they were all pretty quick. Some were even enjoyable too. So, I never really felt like I was grinding all that much. So I thought that was a good addition to the game. I was kind of glad to see they were continuing that moving forward for BFA.
Yeah, it definitely worked out. And as long as we keep getting Azerite power from it, or no, Azerite. What?
Artifact power.
Well, it's not really artifact power, is it? Is it?
That's literally what it's called.
Is
still.
It? Oh, yeah. Okay. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm confused on all the terms here. Okay, yeah. As long as keep getting artifact power, right? You're just gonna have to keep doing them. Keep up with the because the way that it works is they are gonna do the catch up mechanics, right? Where they're gonna reduce the amount of artifact power it requires to level as time goes on. But that's, if you're playing day one like we are, that's not going to affect us.
Yeah. And I'm guessing you'll just want to get to a certain level, just kind of like it used to be, like for Concordance and all that. And the level you want to get to, I'm guessing, would be the final tier of whatever raid difficulty you're running. Because I think, like, say you're running heroic raids, the final ring for that would require, I think it requires a higher level than the normal piece would.
Is it roughly 20? Does 20 sound right?
Let me see.
I mean, I know it's a lower number than, like, we're not going to 35 or 54 or 71 or 74.
Yeah, it's somewhere in that range, 20-ish. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if I remember correctly, like the first ring is 10 or something like that. So I'm guessing like the first 10 will come. Well, the first couple will probably come real quick, like we're used to. But then it'll probably ramp up. So yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So the amount of artifact power from 1 to 10, the increase is linear, and then it starts ramping after 10.
I'm just glad I don't have to worry about getting the right legendaries.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. That will be, I will not miss that.
Even though I was lucky and did get the good ones early on.
I mean, this is a little bit less RNG. It's still some RNG because you still have to get lucky on the drops, but I suppose it's a little more traditional.
Yeah, I just got the impression that they're going to be fairly generous with this stuff, giving it out. So I hope that's the case.
I suppose it also depends on how much content you do, because in Legion you had to do things that would award you a chance at the legendaries, right? So it was your world quests, your box from the world quests, and dungeons, right? And obviously raids.
Although in BFA, we're gonna have to start worrying about weapons again.
Oh sure, yeah, we're gonna have to actually upgrade our weapon.
Yeah, and their weapon upgrades are kind of a big deal now, like compared to what they used to be for something like Beast Mastery. Because now even your pet will scale off that weapon DPS and everything.
Oh right, because they moved it away from weapon damage, right? Or wait, was it previously weapon damage?
Well, just I forget all the details, but basically, everything scales really well now.
Yeah,
like with your weapon and everything.
Yeah, I think it's now off of attack power. Is that right? Or did I get that backwards?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, one of those things is true.
All I know is that getting weapon upgrades is a massive increase in sims. Like, I've even now, like in Legion, comparing the damage from like my weapon to another hunter who has just 10 extra eye levels on it, like the increase in like just everything is crazy. So yeah, good luck getting your weapon drops.
Yeah, here we go again. But that's okay. After this past expansion, it's fine.
Yeah, and they can't Titan Forge either, which is nice.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
they can Warforge though, 5 or 10.
Right.
So are there enchants for weapons now again?
Oh yeah, there's actually a lot of enchants, like the regular weapon enchants that enchanters make do work on ranged weapons now.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Plus you have the engineering scopes on top of that.
So we have we have more options to choose from.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're still kind of balancing them right now, but so it's hard. It's too early to say what's going to be best, but there's a lot of choices.
So what I'm hearing is make an engineer.
I don't know. I'm skeptical that engineers will actually be able to make money.
Okay.
They never have. So.
No, they haven't. They've always been fun, though.
All right. So what I'm hearing is all you engineers make some stuff for us. But yeah, I'll have to get my enchanter up too. That's good to know.
Well, it'll be fun, right? I mean, we're just a few days out now, so but I don't know that we have anything else left to cover today. So figure out when we want to come back after which we're done leveling our tunes. Talk.
Yeah, I don't really have any specific leveling tips because there's not much to it. It's just kind of just
take quests, kill stuff.
Yeah, just have fun.
Yeah, turn on war mode for the first 6 levels while you start your legendaries. Because war mode still gives you that 15% extra XP, right? And chances are the first couple of levels you probably won't encounter.
It's 10%, but once you hit level 102, that's when you can start going over to the other continent.
Okay, so for the first 2, you're definitely not going to see anybody.
You could see people that leveled it to 1 or 2 very fast and then jump over, though.
Oh, okay. So, All right. Well, then
I don't know. There should be so many people out there. Maybe it won't be an issue, right? You know.
I mean, they do have the auto leveling or the auto population stuff. I did hear about a particular bug with the with war mode where there was, since you have uneven numbers of Horde and Alliance always, there was always one shard that was always the leftovers from the balancing algorithm. So let's say you had like 25 people or Horde and then 20 Alliance. It would split it into 2 sets of 10. And then the 5 people would be left on their own shard. Yeah. So it's I don't know if they fixed that particular bug because they did talk about that, but supposedly it should be relatively even number of Alliance and Horde on each shard for war mode.
Yeah, and it's actually 10%, not 15.
Oh yeah, my bad.
But that 10% applies to World Quest rewards too. So 10% more artifact power too.
All right, well, looking forward to long slog coming up.
Exactly.
It feels weird that it's coming in a week though. I don't know. It just kind of like, okay, I guess it's launching.
Yeah, this pre-launch event hasn't been particularly impactful, right? Like the Dark Shore campaign has been kind of lackluster.
Well, I think like the story stuff is pretty big, but the actual stuff you're doing in the game is kind of like, compared to like the Legion pre-event.
Yeah, where you're fighting like giant invasions everywhere, and that was really cool. Wrath was awesome. Kata was... What was Kata? Was that the sacking of Orgrimmar? Was that...
Kata was...
Like the burning of Orgrimmar?
Wasn't there like... No, there was like... Wasn't there like elemental invasions or something?
That's what it was, yeah, elemental invasions. And I remember Orgrimmar getting set on fire. That's why they remade Orgrimmar to the new format. Was that... that was Kata, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, there's been pretty good stuff, and this one has definitely been one of the most lackluster.
Yeah. I just like the whole pre-event for Legion was like, I was so busy during that because I just, leveling characters and all that. But I suspect they didn't want to do another leveling bonanza like that because of allied races. They don't want people to AFK their way to the heritage armor.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I mean the World Quests do give you a bit of XP, though, right? Because you can do those Dark Shore ones at 98. Am I mistaken there?
I'm not sure, but yeah, probably.
So it's... Yep.
I guess there's one more Warbringers coming, probably tomorrow. I think it's Ashara. And hopefully another cinematic after that. But maybe I'm just getting greedy.
I don't know. Everyone's... I think a lot of people feel the same way. It's time to make a movie. Actual sort of technology.
You mean the Warcraft movie?
Yeah. It was almost... It was a lot of CGI, right? But I'm
fair,
just saying one of those fully animated... Like they do for the BFA cinematics, all those cinematics, just give us like a full feature length something.
If Overwatch gets a full length movie before we do, I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey guys. On that note, I think you've been listening to episode 273 of the Hunting Party Podcast. I'm Darkbrew from thebrewhall.com and the Brew Hall on Twitter.
I'm Bendak from Eyes of the Beast and Bendak Wow on Twitter.
And you can check us out on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, or add our RSS feed to your reader. Have all these links available in our show notes. And if you have a question for a topic for the show, would like us to discuss, email us at huntingpartypodcast@gmail.com or send us a tweet to @huntingpartypod. Stay thirsty, my friends. Remember to drink your dark brew lager.
Keep your eyes on the beast. You should probably have something for this.
I know. Synth, everyone on here needs something.
Yeah.
A life stealer, that's just the cost of being awesome sauce. A dues payer, a boss slayer, I rock out with my lockout. shot. BM, MM, and SV. I can rock out any tree. Never worried about my threat, 'cause I've got FD and misdirect. Catching loose mobs in my traps. I never miss, 'cause I am hip capped. 'Cause I'm the hunter, not the marked. I'm the fighter, not the spark. I'm the kiter, not the kite. I'll top the meters every fight. Rated NK dealing death. Just me, my gun, and my trusty bed. Now let's begin with Illidan, Osirian, and Gil'jadim, Magdamar, Asgalor, Gruul, Cthulhu, and Razorgore, Onyxia to Ragnaros. Which one have we killed the most? Kel'Thuzad to Malygos. We even killed a Kama's ghost. Feels like we're getting close, all that running has a ghost. Yogg-Saron, Therian, Sartharian, Magthuridon, Sapuron, Luciton to Sulfuron, Archon, Amalon, Koromon, Algalon. The faction champions, the death toll rolling on and on. Garvale, Executus, Chromagus, and Jarexus. Murmur, kill this. We won't stop till we kill our thoughts.
All my lead skills,